Hello, it's Sonia here with The Pretty Stitch. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time joining me, I'm so happy to have you here. So today we are going to be making a baby hat, which I don't think I've ever done a baby item on this channel. I don't think so. Maybe I have. I don't think I have. But we're going to do one today. So this is a very easy hat pattern, and we are going to be using an F hook or a 3.75mm hook. And I'm going to show you the first half of this pattern using, I think I'll just use this green here. It's tangled up with some white, which I'm not sure how that happened, but you know, this is from my stash and things get a little jumbled. And if you're new to my channel, I am doing a challenge of trying to use up some yarn stash. So yeah, I found this yarn in my stash and I thought let's make a baby item out of it. Okay, so I fixed my yarn. So this is like a sport weight yarn or maybe even lighter weight. So for this pattern you can use either DK weight yarn, sport weight, or even fingering weight. Now just keep in mind that depending on the weight of yarn you use, your size will be a little bit different for your hat. And you can use the same hook size, so 3.75mm or F hook for any of those yarn types. And the great thing is with baby hats is even if it doesn't fit real well, if it's slightly big, you know, babies grow. So that's the beauty of baby items, unless you make it too small from the get-go. But usually that's not the case. If you give it to a newborn and it's a little big, they're going to grow into it. So I do have a written pattern for this project. I'm in the process of revising it because this pattern is pretty old. It's probably over 10 years old. So I decided to revisit it, and I just wanted to change a little bit. It's still basically the same pattern. I'm just kind of changing the numbers a little bit. And also what you're going to see is this is the first half of this pattern, and then I'm going to change the video over to the second half, and you're going to see a different color because when I already filmed it, and with the original pattern I wrote 10 years ago, and I was like, these numbers are stupid. Like I was a total newbie with writing patterns, so I just changed the numbers for the beginning half of the pattern, but the rest of the pattern is fine. So if you notice different colors, that is why. But it's all going to work out in the end. Okay, so let's get started. Enough chit chat. Let's chain 2 to start, and this will be round 1. And we are working in rounds, and we will be working in continuous rounds. So I will tell you about that in a little bit. So in your second chain from your hook, you're going to work 5 single crochet. Okay, so we have 5 single crochet. So what you want to do is we are going to place a stitch marker in our last stitch. So I'm just using a scrap piece of yarn. You can certainly use actual stitch markers, but I just prefer scraps of yarn because I had a bunch of stitch markers and they got lost. And also I think my dog would try to eat them, so it's probably best I don't have any right now. Scraps of yarn. He doesn't really bother with scraps of yarn. Now if it's a ball of yarn, yeah, he thinks that's like a toy for him. But scraps of yarn, he's like, whatever. Alright, so let's begin round 2. I placed a stitch marker in my last stitch for round 1. And a lot of times when you're working in rounds, then you would join with a slip stitch. But we're not going to do that for this pattern. We're just going to keep stitching around and around and around. And you want to place a stitch marker in your last stitch because that helps you keep track of your rounds, because it's going to get confusing as where the round ends and how the round begins. So this is just a little helpful tool. So what we're going to do for round 2 is we are working 2 single crochet in each stitch. So I'm just jumping into that next stitch. So there's 1 single crochet in that stitch, and there's the second one. And you're just going to do that all the way around, so that at the end of your round 2 you will have a total of 10 stitches. I'm going to pop that guy out, and I'm just going to work 2 more stitches, and then my last stitch I'm going to put that stitch marker right back in, So as I said before, you're going to have 10 stitches at the end of round 2. Okay, so we have 10 stitches for round 2, so let's begin round 3. Round 3 is a repeat of round 2. You're just going to pop in 2 stitches in each for round 3, so that at the end of round 3 you're going to have a total of 20 stitches. So we are increasing, that's what we're doing. So placing 2 stitches in each. So I'm going to keep doing this off camera and I will meet you back. And of course you want to put your stitch marker in your last stitch. Okay, so I finished up round 3. I have a total of 20 stitches. So let's begin round 4. So round 4 is going to be very easy. It's going to be an even round. So what that means is we are going to work even. We're just going to work 1 stitch in each stitch. So we are just working 1 single crochet in each stitch. And if you see the term in a pattern, work even, or if you hear somebody say work even, that means just 1 stitch in each. So you're just going to single crochet all the way around for round 4, and again place your stitch marker in your last stitch. So I will keep going and I will meet you back. Okay, so now we are ready for round 5. So round 5 is a repeat of round 2, so that means we're just going to put 2 single crochet in each stitch. So at the end of round 5 you are going to have a total of 40 single crochet. So I'm just popping in 2 single crochet in each stitch for round 5. So I'll keep going and I will meet you back. Okay, so I have completed round 5, so I have my 40 single crochet. So why don't we get ready for round 6, 7, and 8. So they are all going to be the same. Those are going to be even rounds, so you're just going to work 1 single crochet in each stitch for rounds 6, 7, and 8. And of course you want to remember to place your stitch marker in your last stitch at the end of each round. So I'm going to keep going here, working single crochet all the way around for rounds 6, 7, and 8, and I will meet you back at the end of round 8. Okay, so I finished up round 6, 7, and 8, just working even. So now we are ready for round 9. So round 9, we are going to single crochet in the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, and 3. In our next stitch, you're going to work 2 single crochet. So we are increasing again, but just a little bit more slowly now. So we're going to repeat that all the way around. So 1, 2, 3. And then in your next stitch, stitch 4, you're going to pop in 2 single crochet and just do that all the way around. And then again in your last stitch, place your stitch marker. So at the end of round 9 here, you're going to have a total of 50 stitches. So I'm going to keep going and I will meet you back. Okay, so I finished up my round 9. I have 50 stitches. So for round 10 is an even row. You're just going to work 1 single crochet in each stitch for round 10, and again place your stitch marker in your last stitch. So as you can see, there is no seam when you do it like this, but again you want to have your stitch marker because it's really difficult to tell, you know, when the round ends and where it begins. So it's just a little helpful tool so that you know where you are in the pattern. So I'm going to keep going working my round 10 and I will meet you back. Okay, so I finished up my round 10, so let's work on round 11. So for round 11, we are going to single crochet in the next 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then in the next stitch, you're going to pop in 2 single crochet. So your 5th stitch, 2 single crochet. So you're just going to want to repeat that all the way around. We're increasing again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then stitch 5, putting in 2 single crochet. So at the end of round 11 here, you're going to have a total of 60 stitches. And then round 12 is going to be a repeat of what we did for round 10. We're just going to work even, so you're just going to single crochet all the way around. And I'm not going to show that because you've seen it. So finish up round 11 working in the first 4 stitches, and then stitch 5, pop in that 2 single crochet, And then round 12, just single crochet around even. So I will meet you back at the end of round 12. Okay, so I finished up round 12 and you should have a total of 60 stitches. So I wasn't sure if I said that, but it will be up on the screen if I didn't. So anyway, let's begin round 13. So for round 13, we are going to increase again. So you're going to single crochet in the next 5 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and we are going to pop in 2 single crochet in stitch 6, and we're going to keep doing that all the way around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then in stitch 6 you're going to pop in 2 single crochet. So then of course at the end of your round you want to pop in your stitch marker, and you're going to have a total of 70 stitches. So for round 14 we're going to just do another even round, so we're just going to single crochet all the way around for round 14. So I'm going to finish up round 13 and round 14, so I will meet you back at the end of round 14. Okay, so I have worked round 14, so now we are ready for round 15. So round 15 you are going to single crochet in the next 6 stitches, and for round 14 and 13 you're going to have a total of 70 stitches. So again, I'll have that on the screen. I'm not sure if I said it, but again we are now on round 15. So what you need to do is work 1 single crochet in the next 6 stitches. Yeah, words are hard right now. 6 stitches. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then in stitch 7 here we are going to pop in 2 stitches. So we're increasing yet again, and you're going to keep doing that all the way around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, stitch 7, 2 stitches. So at the end of round 15 here, you are going to have a total of 80 stitches. And this is our final increase round. So for rounds 16 and 17, after you're done round 15, you are just going to work even. So I'm going to do that off camera, and then the next part of the video you're going to see a different hat in a different color. That is like the original one that when I explained earlier that I had filmed this video, and I used my original pattern that I wrote 10 years ago, and just the math was all over the place. Again, I didn't know what I was doing 10 years ago, so I've learned a little bit since then. So, but the rest of the pattern, when you see next, is from the original pattern, and that's still fine. So I'm going to, so the next part of the video you see, you're going to see a different hat. So just again, repeat the increase here, and still keep using your stitch marker, and then work even for round 16 and 17. So I will meet you back at the end of round 17. Okay, so this is the end of my round 17. I am going to change to my contrasting color, the original color we saw. Now you don't have to change colors, but I think this pattern really looks nice when you have different colors, so I highly recommend that you have different colors. And at the end of this round, we are going to join in the first stitch here with a slip stitch there, and we're going to get ready for round 18. And I'm not going to cut this color here, I'm just going to carry it up the side to have less ends to weave in. So to begin round 18, we are going to chain 1, and we're going to single crochet in that same stitch. And we're going to skip 3 stitches. After we skip 3 stitches, we are going to work a shell stitch. So 1, 2, and 3. In this next stitch, we're going to work a shell stitch. So that stitch is going to consist of 5 double crochet all in one stitch, and I love shell stitches. I think they're so pretty. So here's 1 double crochet. We're going to put another one in that same stitch. So there's the second one, third, There's stitch 4 and stitch 5. So we have worked our shell stitch, so now we are going to skip 3 stitches. So 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to single crochet in the next. This is the start of our repeat, so you're going to skip 3 stitches. So 1, 2, and 3, single crochet in the next. We're going to skip 3 stitches again, 1, 2, 3, and pop that shell stitch in the next one. And you're going to repeat that all the way around. So you're going to skip 3, single crochet in the next stitch, skip 3, shell stitch in the next. So pretty easy, and this will go a lot faster because we're skipping stitches instead of those tedious single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're just going to keep going 1, 2, 3, single crochet, and then 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, shell. So I'm going to keep going, working that sequence all the way around, and I will meet you back. Okay, so I'm finishing up round 18. I am actually going to change to my other color. So where is it? Here it is. So I have 2 stitches on my hook. This is my last shell here. I'm just going to finish off that last stitch. I'm going to pull on that yarn. Where is it? Right there, just so that the stitches. So I'm pulling on this color that I'm using, the color that I used for round 18, just so the stitch is even. And then we are going to join in our back loops in our first stitch, and I'm using my new color with the slip stitch there. So I'm joining in the back loop. So you don't have to use another color, but I think it looks really cute if you do. So now we're ready to begin round 19. So round 19 we are going to chain 3, and it will count as a double crochet, and we're going to work 4 double crochet in that same stitch in the back loop there, and we're working a shell again. Now we are going to skip 2 stitches on our shell, so 1, 2, and we're going to single crochet in the back loop in the next one. We're going to skip 2, and we're going to go right to that single crochet and work a shell. So that's 5 double crochet in that back loop. And we will skip 2 stitches. So now is the repeat. So you're going to skip 2 and you're going to work a single crochet. So we're working a single crochet in that center shell in the back loop. So you're working in the back loops all the way around for this round here, and we're going to skip 2, 1, 2, and work a shell. So it's skipping 2, working the single crochet on top of the shell, skipping 2, working the shell in the single crochet. And you're just going to do that all the way around. And I'm going to change colors again at the end of this round, so I will meet you back. Okay, I'm going to finish up round 19 here. So I'm going to join on top of this first chain 3 with a slip stitch, and I am going to change colors, but not yet. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. So I'm slip stitching that one. Then I'm going to slip stitch in the next stitch, in that next double crochet, still using the same color. And now I'm going to slip stitch in that center stitch of the shell, and I'm going to go in the back loop, and now I am going to pick up that other color. Because if you picked up the other color here and slip stitched, you would see that, so this way you don't see it. So now we're ready for round 20. So we are going to chain 1, and we're going to single crochet in that same stitch, and we are going to now work a shell in the back loops, still working in the back loops. And this is just a personal preference thing. I like the way it looks with back loops. It just gives a nice textured look. If you don't like it, you can certainly work in both loops. It's completely fine. This is how I have it in the pattern, so this is how I want to do it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then skipping the 2 and working that single crochet on top of that shell there, skipping the 2, working the shell in the single crochet. So I'm just going to repeat this all the way around for round 20 here. And I will meet you back. Okay, so I have finished up round 20. You can see I've already switched back to my light pink here. So what you're going to want to do is repeat rounds 19 and 20 for rounds 21 through 24. And then round 25, you're going to repeat round 19 again. So this is the round 19 where we chained 3 and worked the 4 double crochet, and we're still working in the back loops only. So I said before, whoops, yep, keep your loop on your hook there. So for rounds 21 through 24, repeat rounds 19 and 20, and then round 25, repeat round 19 again, and then you can join and cut your yarn. So I'm going to do that off camera and I will meet you back. Okay, so here I have finished up my round 25, and I'm going to join on top of my chain 3, and now I can cut my yarn. So what you're going to want to do, of course, is weave in any loose ends, and you are going to, or you might want to block your hat a little bit here. But I think it turned out really cute. It's really, really sweet. So I hope you enjoyed this project, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.